I see I can keep forgetting to turn that up. Hello, hello, ladies and gelatins. Welcome to Wednesday. And it's my brother's birthday, and I actually need to wish him a happy birthday. Hold on. Alexa, remind me at 22:30. Wish my brother a happy birthday.
I'll create a reminder.
Yeah, can you tell I was like doing silliness until like doing stuff until the absolute last second? Just like, hold on a second, it's May 14th. Wait, that's an important date. What's happening on that day? It's one of my brother's birthdays. Very silly. Welcome to silliness. Hello, Ruby. Hello, Algol. Good to see you. Good to see you. And yes, it is evening. It is. So yes, here we are to play another I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. However, I do also have an announcement to make. So here's the thing. My life has been absolutely insanely crazy lately. And I've decided that for the foreseeable future, I will be streaming one day per week. So in the future, I will be Mondays only. And by that, I also mean that because Wednesday is still going to be something that I'm going to try to like leave flexible at all and have time for myself and other hobbies and other things as well. I plan to basically like if I can't stream on a Monday, I might let people know that it's going to be moved to a Wednesday or something. But for the most part, I'm going to be Monday only. So yeah, it's weird because I've been doing 2 days a week for years now at this point. But yeah, I think it's just kind of reached the point in time where it turns out all the things I want to do, there's too many of them. And they're starting to conflict, and I never want the stream stuff. You can alternate games. So how it's going to work right now is because I just finished the story, like the first story in Monster Hunter. My plan right now is that I'm going to I might alternate games bi-weekly, but I'm probably just going to play a game until I finish it. But because I finished a story, I like beat a big boss in Monster Hunter. I know there's still more to Monster Hunter, but my plan is that I want to finish Teenage Exocolonist very, very badly. And I know Monster Hunter can also like just kind of keep going. So I'm going to take a break from Monster Hunter from this Monday and continue I Was a Teenage Exocolonist till we finish it. Then once we finish that, I'll see how I'm feeling. Either I'll go back to Monster Hunter and play hard mode or high rank or however I'm getting to that, or I'll do some other indie games for a while and we'll see. I definitely had a good run with the Monster Hunter. I definitely really like Wilds. Like that is absolutely true. It's just a case of like, I have to figure out how I want to do these kind of games here. And I might prioritize like the indie games because I don't know, they're my favorite to stream, I think. And I love Monster Hunter, but for the most part, people haven't really showed up and been able to play with me much lately as for the Monster Hunter, so I think my more interesting games are like the big story ones for now. So that's how I'm feeling, but the best part about life is that we can always change our minds and our hearts as often as we want. And thank you for the hydrate and stretch. I can only do the stretch though because I forgot to get myself water. So I will take that as a future hydrate for the future. This is why I have the hydrate button. And I didn't even remember to get myself a thing. But yeah, I had to work late today, and it's definitely harder for me on Wednesdays because I have to go to the office. So I have to commute back. And so there's just less time to get stuff done. And today was like, I really needed to finish a script so that I could actually be running it. I am running it on my computer. Even as we speak, I run a lot of things overnight on my computer. That's apparently what happens when you work with AI stuff or just kind of big data stuff in general. You end up running a lot of scripts like overnight. It's normal. Lo-Fi Girl and I I feel like I'm one of Lo-Fi Girl's most consistent viewers lately. And by that I really just also I found out there's a new like medieval like what is it like medieval Lo-Fi Girl like jams to transcribe scrolls and stuff too or whatever, and it's awesome. It's actually a bunch of music that you would expect to be in like some fantasy medieval RPG. It's amazing. I'm obsessed. Like, it's so good. I change it every few weeks or so because like for a while I was doing the jazz one, then I did like just the normal one again, and then I did the piano one, and then I got tired of that. And you know, eventually you get tired of hearing the same things over and over, but like so far the medieval one it's great. It's a bop. But I've said that about all the ones I've started with so far, so we'll see. Eventually, everything gets to be quite a lot. But yeah, anyways, so let's start playing the games. And also, oh my gosh, you guys can't see my mouse. I notice that our boy who we are dating is here, which is interesting. I don't know why, because we reached like an important part of his story. Don't know. And we have pet, and it is glow. Oh, that's actually quite exciting. We can go outside during glow. Apply to be a hunter. Nope. I feel like we need to explore during glow. What did we do last, though? I feel like we were outside before, though. I don't want to redo all that stuff again, though. Is there any way we can... Is there any way we can get our energy back? Any sneaky thing? Because like this, there's a big difference between wet here and glow. And we got the fidget spinner, but like the re-simulation, there's a lot of stuff we did. Oh, hello. Can I have... Does this interest... Please? Nope. Oh. Don't be a hero. You kids need to stay safe. I feel like we're really supposed to have been able to sneak out, and that's not good that we can't sneak out. Ange? It's a shame glow is only 1 month. Like, I get it. It's like super rare and it makes it feel more special because of that, but still. Some kind of Hail Mary? No? Oh, bobber fruit, though. No. Bobber fruit. Well, hopefully nothing important happens on our 17th while we're 17 and during this time. This often comes and finds you after work so you can hang out. Most of the time you get dinner together, then retreat back to the lounge for more relaxing. Even though you've been spending most of your free time rewatching the same holovids, watching them again with this always makes it feel special. Oh, that's cute. I don't really want to forget either of these. These are both fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Keep your memories. You're just putting your boots on to grab dinner in the lounge when you hear the colony sirens begin to wail. It's the yearly attack. Ugh, I couldn't have waited till you ate dinner? Rude. Outside your window, you watch the colony defense begin to mobilize. Helipom chimes in with the usual reminders for all civilian colonists to stay indoors. Join the colony defense. You head out to the garrison to grab a plas rifle. Then report to the front. Chief Rhett looks surprised to see you, but assigns you to a squad with Anemone and tells you to get up on the walls and do your best. On the other side of the walls is more Xenos than you've ever seen in one place, ever. They seethe out of the forest, large and small, herbivorous and predatory, fungal and otherwise, flying and crawling and hopping towards the colony with a single-minded determination. The air fills with the pew-pew of laser turrets and the crackle of plas rifles. The enemy's front line collapses only to be replaced by even more Xenos, just as many more as before, if not more. There's no end to it. The firebreak turns into a graveyard of dead and dying alien bodies, wave after wave crawling over the corpses till they roil at the base of the walls like the foam on a wave when it hits the shore. You hear the walls creaking underneath you, but they hold strong. There is no sun to setting glow, but night falls on the battlefield without any break in the fighting. Your fingers begin to cramp from pulling the trigger of your plas rifle. Finally, you're relieved by the second guard shift. You walk straight in the garrison and right into a dream of sleep. You're woken 6 hours later for your next shift. The kitchens have provided the soldiers with pressed soy rations and hot blep tea, which you grab, then make your way back to the walls to survey the carnage of the night. As you arrive, your holopalm lights up with a priority message. Security personnel, we are under siege. Chief says, getting right to the point. On Earth, sieges were used to break a city by starvation or drought. We have plenty of food and water. Guards will rotate 6 hours on, 6 off. Oh yeah, we did this before. We can do this. We're stronger than them. We're not going anywhere. Oh yeah, we went out there and we talked to a guy and he was mad and stuff. You and the other soldiers fall into a fitful rhythm, alternating shifts on the wall with brief snippets of sleep. Gunfire becomes the soundtrack of your days, which begin to smear together like paste. Anemone in particular is suffering. She volunteers for relief shifts, sometimes pulling double or triples on the wall. You can catch her mechanically shoveling soy porridge into her mouth before seeming to fall asleep sitting up. A minute later, she jolts awake as someone's spoon clatters against their bowl. Tempers grow short as fatigue sets in. 6 days pass. You're on shift, watching the Xenos batter themselves against the wall. You feel your eyes unfocus with the sheer, formless horde of them. And all these days, they still haven't breached the colony. Sometimes they even seem to retreat, ebbing backwards and reforming somewhere else. It's behavior you've never seen before. A group of monsters break from the tree line. Nothing new, except for one of them. One of the Xenos looks different from the others, almost humanoid. Oh, we remember him. They blow them up with the new crew of the Heliopus. Well, you see, there's a lot more Xenos than there are bombs. It's kind of like trying to blow up nature. You kind of can't. There's a lot of nature, and nature is angry. And also, that might have been in the weird future, which we did and did not experience. The creature looks suspiciously like a person, at least from the waist up. Bro, Avatar and Navi, a little bit, honestly. It's a little bit I honestly really like the design. It's fascinating. It's so decidedly alien. Down below, it's a lumbering chimera vaguely reminiscent of a faceless, wrapped in tattered bits of flesh and bony protrusions. Something like hair flutters behind it as it turns to look right at you with an unnerving, malevolent intelligence. You rub your eyes. Yeah, it's still there. It approaches to the base of the wall, and the other monsters surge forward on to pound against the gates. Go to hell, Noctilucent. You remember its name. Their name. A gardener, part of an ancient alien defense system. One that doesn't know when to stop. They look at you in surprise and seem as if they're going to approach the wall and say something. Then Anemone puts a bullet through their chest. Noctilucent reels and falls back into the crowd of monsters. The hell was that? Anemone demands, then covers her eyes with her hand. Never mind, I don't even want to know. This siege better end soon. Starting to see shit, Solana. I swear that thing had a face. Finally, after your 6th day of siege, you look down the sights of your plas rifle, see a curious thing. The monsters are retreating. As you gather with the other soldiers in the colony square, your holopalm lights up with a priority announcement from Governor Lum. The alien attackers have been defeated, he says. The siege has ended. Lum smiles broadly and puffs out his chest. Another year, another win. You're welcome, Vertumna. You're welcome, humanity. You're welcome, you hear, and see Chief Rhett nearby, looking livid. What did he do? He rants to his security officers. Race out there like an idiot with his honor guard, defend strategically unsound positions, put himself in danger, so we had to save his overstuffed ass. The soldiers all shift uncomfortably, but no one disagrees. When I actually needed him, Rhett continues, taking his 12-hour beauty rest while the rest of us slog through endless shifts. The soldiers are exhausted from the siege, so the crowd in the square disperses quickly. Only a few Helios remain, covertly filming Rhett while he continues to rail against Loom. On the horizon, the first rays of quiet streak the sky with lavender. You watch Utopia's reclamation crew head out through their gates to begin vaporizing xenocorpses for their component molecules. Which I can stay asleep. Yo, honestly, same. I'm so bad at sleeping, I swear. I honestly struggle to sleep for 8 hours some nights. I try really hard. I try really, really hard. But like 7 hours is I can usually do, but like sometimes 8 is hard. Not to sleep too much. Oof. I mean, I totally understand. Everyone has their own individual relationship with sleep, and mine is, well, sleep is weird for me. It's kind of boring. But it's also really nice sometimes, if my body will actually let me. If it starts getting warm, well... Right? Yeah, exactly. I try to, if I've ever gone to bed early... Well, actually, I found it's worse if I stay up later. I also just get up at the same time. That's my least favorite thing, is that, like, I basically have to go to bed at the same time if I want to wake up at around the same time. And yeah, if I go to bed earlier, I'll wake up earlier too. That night, you have terrible dreams. You imagine that you're sieging the colony, that you're a creature crawling in the mud on your belly, the ozone crackle of plasma rifle fire arcing overhead. Through taloned claws, you rip into the walls like they're made of clay, stuffing choking handfuls of it into your mouth. In a moment of lucidity, you try to pull the clay from your throat, but no matter how hard you pull, it just never ends. You jolt awake when you realize you've been pulling your own guts out of your throat. Just a dream. You're shaking and coated in a film of terror sweat, your heart pounding. You don't find sleep again before dawn break. Helps with creative process. Yeah, true. It's terrifying. I remember a lot of my dreams. It's also terrifying, not gonna lie. You walk up to the lounge to see Cal saying goodbye to Tammy. He kisses her sweetly on the forehead, then leans over and kisses her round stomach. Tammy giggles, clearing her mouth from her hand. Oh, they're waiting for you. Oh, hello, Solana. What's going on? Present. Oh, we're already 100% with Tammy. We can do better. We should probably not have been ignoring Cal. He seems pretty cool. We also, like, have enough stuff where we could be giving him presents, too. Cal likes anything that's edible. Tangent doesn't notice you approach, absorbed in staring at your hand. She flexes it a few times, touches her thumb to each fingertip. The body's a remarkable machine, so weak as a child and so strong in its prime, then ravaged by its own imperfect biology till it literally crumbles around us. Yet somehow we made it to the stars, and then here. Imagine what we could do if not burdened by our physical forms. Oh, I think about that all the time. What else do you like? Oh, yellow flowers. Might be mighty useful. Then would join you in robo-body dance, right? Transhumanism is like, yes, of course. No, I feel you. Transhumanism is the best. It's not so terrifying. Yeah, no, I understand. My dreams are terrifying to myself and others most of the time. Sometimes they have cool ones, but most of the time they're just weird and unsettling. It's actually partially due to the dream I had last night that made me realize that it was time for me to become a once per week streamer, at least for the foreseeable future. We'll see. Don't appear to an annoying pop-up. That is a cool horror story to think about. Imagine existing only as pop-ups in someone else's head, in someone else's computer body. Tianj is working late in the lab this evening as usual. What's unusual, though, is the smile that brightens her face when she looks up from her microscope and sees you. Solana, I'm glad you're here. No, actually, why don't you come over and see for yourself? Take a look through her microscope. Look at the shape of the spores, Tianj says. I've only seen this once before when we were studying the shimmer fungus. But this fungus isn't any of the ones we'd identified as capable of spreading the shimmer. She pushes you aside and looks through the microscope again, then makes more notes on her HoloLens. Just when I think we've got an understanding of something, Solana, this could change everything. If more species are capable of spreading the spores, then the shimmer response is more widespread than we previously thought. possibly even a planet-wide phenomenon. Tange looks positively energized because it's a new species. I get to submit a suggestion for the name. What do you think? Should I name it after you? You should name it after yourself. Don't be ridiculous, Tange laughs as she inputs your name into her hollow eye. I've already named 6 things after myself. That's what scientists do when they discover things. With a slight gesture of her hand, Tange's hollow eye turns off. She sighs and rubs her thumb and index finger for her eyes. It's even later than usual for me, isn't it? Time to pack up and get going for the sanitation team arrives in the morning. Yes, exactly. I do need more free time. I need more time for other hobbies and other things. I basically, it became a case of like literally every single evening of every single day was completely booked. And I'm like, I need something's gotta give. And this is I think the best of the things, because like other stuff is like going to the gym or like cooking and other things like that, and it's tough, especially with Wednesday specifically, that I have to commute from the office to home. So yeah, but it will be Mondays only. However, yeah, exactly like Uggle said, it's a case of like I will swap if I need to or if I want to. Like basically if it's like there's an event on Monday, all right, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. So it'll still be, I'm not going to plan to like book something every Wednesday. I like literally would like to have a day that like doesn't have something booked. That's what I want on purpose. Just one single day in my week. Yeah, honestly, it's just still weird to me because I was doing twice a week for so long and I liked the fact that it would let me play 2 games at once in a pretty reasonable way, but I think it'll be all right. Oh, and just to add to that real quick is that I'll be, because Monster Hunter hit like basically I beat a big boss, so I'm gonna basically continue this game on Monday till we finish it. Then we'll see if I want to play other indie games or if I want to go back to Monster Hunter, and we'll see. I get to do it based on feel, based on vibes. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up having more time and wanting to do it again, but I'll be honest, life seems to get more crazier, not less. And that's okay. It's been a lot of times. It's just crazy because like so many years of 2 days a week. Oh, I know eventually I'll go back to Monster Hunter. It's just a case of when. Because I love Wilds, don't get me wrong, and I love me some Monster Hunter. But I also really love playing indie story games, and they might be more fun to specifically stream. There's a part of me that's like, well, no matter what, even if I don't go back to streaming Monster Hunter, I know I'm going to go back to playing it. So, we'll see. Oh, yeah, exactly. No, Monster Hunter, absolutely. Like, it's hard for it to not. It's such a good game. It's such a brilliantly designed game. With a slight gesture of her hand, Tange's hollow eye turns off. It's even later than usual for me, isn't it? Time to pack up and get going before the sanitation team arrives in the morning. She yawns and blinks rapidly, surprised. Seems that even I'm tired. You help her pack up her workstation. She turns off the lights with one last fond look at her laboratory. You and Tange take the long way through the colony, walking in companionable silence towards the general direction of the living quarters. You've come to enjoy these walks with Tange, moving like twin spirits through a sleeping world. Tange stops you before you head to the living quarters. Actually, let's not go straight back. I want to stay out a little longer. You and Tange climb up in the walls where the wind coming in the forest is stronger and keep walking. The wilderness is dark and impenetrable past the defensive perimeter. Tange keeps you on the outside edge, subconsciously or possibly consciously, putting you between her and it. I hate thinking about what's out there, she says quietly. Predators, dangers, diseases, all the monsters that have terrified humanity since the dawn of time, and they're right outside these walls. It's not so bad out there. She links her fingers behind her back as she walks. All the same, I think I've finally come to appreciate it for what it is. Opportunity. How many scientists have truly been afforded this freedom of discovery, a seemingly limitless buffet of knowledge? Tange looks towards the wilderness and smiles wistfully. Vertumna is full of dangers, yes, but I find myself also feeling a curious sense of wonder, awe, perhaps. You walk a little further before Tange, seemingly in the middle of some deep thought, stops and turns to you. Solana, are you happy here? She winces and bites her lip. No, I don't mean happy, precisely. Happiness is irrelevant to a survival situation. What I mean is, do you imagine a future here? One that you would have chosen for yourself, should you have been given the option? Are you fulfilled? I am actually just kind of existing day by day. I feel like we're too young to be fulfilled. Oh my gosh. There was at no point did I feel fulfilled when I was in my teens. None of my teens, no teenage age did I feel fulfilled. I was absolutely just making it by day, scared about the future, sort of confused about the past, feeling mixed feelings on things, and just sort of trying to get by. That's been a lot of my life, actually. So it's kind of crazy to think, especially the teenage years. So I wonder, right? Yeah, that's such a Tange thing to do. But I'm curious, when y'all were teenagers, did you feel anything close to fulfilled? Like you were in the place you were supposed to be, doing the thing you were supposed to do, or that you were moving and growing towards something that felt good and important, or were you kind of just existing day by day? Exactly, that's what I'm thinking too. It is, yes, feeling lost. I feel like that is literally a guaranteed feeling for being a teenager, is just feeling lost and confused and sort of like you don't fit anywhere and you don't know what you're supposed to do or what you're supposed to be. You're just kind of trying stuff and doing stuff and having fun sometimes and definitely not having fun other times and just sort of trying stuff, right? So it's interesting. I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare for anyone to feel fulfilled anyways, even non-teenagers, right? Yeah. But I think it was definitely the hardest during teenage years. It gets easier. You get used to it. I think you get more used to the day by day. Tange agrees. What a miserable existence we lead. That I don't agree with. Honestly, Tange continues, I despise the physical realities of living here. The smell, the cramped quarters, the constant threat of attack, of disease, everyone's meaningless interpersonal squabbles, amplified by proximity and stress. I can feel them weighing me down. She laughs humorlessly. We don't have a choice, do we? Therefore, the only rational decision to make is the best of what we have. To accept otherwise is to accept misery and death. Montessori approach to education. Oh, honestly, yeah, let people specialize, especially because you can change later. You can re-specialize basically whenever. I think the only hard part afterwards is that people are, the way our whole capitalistic job system is set up is terrible. There are so many people who could be doing really cool and interesting things, but they just can't because, yeah, exactly. I've done a lot of different things. I'm actually happy with what I'm doing right now. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I'm actually happy with what I'm doing right now. But it took a long time to get there. And I had to change to do so many different things. And even right up until the end, I wasn't sure if I was going to go in this direction or if it was going to be something completely different. There was a part of me that's man, I might end up just being an English teacher. It wouldn't have been terrible. I wouldn't have been happy there. I would have been definitely trying to do something more. But, there's a part of me that could have been that thing and that would have been fine, Game dev, artist programmer, yep. Industry, yeah, that is a tough industry, that is for sure. I mean, everything's really tough industry-wise right now, but oh boy. It kind of feels just like capitalism everywhere is on fire. But I guess maybe that's also kind of the point they're making with this stuff too. I feel like no one has ever lived in super chill, easy times. That's the tangent you know so well. You trust her to stay logical and focused no matter what chaos tomorrow may bring. Been an easy laugh. Oof. Well, That's not necessarily true. They don't necessarily lay off the juniors because the juniors are cheaper. They kind of have a tendency to lay off kind of like the mid-level, where it's like, because they need like the really good seniors, and they like the cheaper juniors, so it really does depend. You walk until the chill of the night settles into your skin, then descend from the walls and walk back to the living quarters. Tange hesitates at the threshold. Anyone else may not have noticed, but you know Tange, probably better than anyone in the colony does, even her own brother. What's wrong? Oh, nothing, Tange says with a hollow laugh, just thinking, which is nothing new. She looks at you with a faint smile. You, probably more than anyone else in the colony, knows what it feels like to conceal your true feelings under a serene facade. I mean, no offense, but we're alike in that way. Can't help but feel unsettled by everything we've yet to face. Unsettled is an imprecise word. Do you want a hug? Tange's awkward silence conveys she has to consider this deeply. Yes, she says finally, I do, actually. Oh, so sweet. Got a quality game, now's the best of times. True, if you, like, it is, the thing is, though, being Vampire Survivors, Balatro Schedule 1, like, that is basically winning the lottery. Like, there are so many indie games that fail. There are a lot of indie games that do all right, and then there are some that basically win the lottery. It's a great, like, if you can find the time to like, put into that hobby, it is a very rewarding hobby. But it is also, if you're doing it for money, it's not going to work out, unfortunately, just because, like, you just can't. It's a gamble. It's a risk. Any sense of logic for layoffs? That's true. Yeah. Layoffs are, it is what it is. It's scary. It's the world. It's life. You never know what some random higher up is going to, because, like, you know, people look at money, which is just numbers that other people are making up to make themselves feel feelings about stuff. They're going to look at those and they're going to feel feelings about other numbers somewhere else, and they're going to make decisions based on these random feelings. And they're going to justify it to themselves that it was the right and best decision because it's the only thing they could do. And then they're going to look at other numbers that change after they make this decision and decide that, yes, no, this is the better thing because if I had done the other one, it would have been worse. Even if things go bad. Oh, well, if I'd made the other decision, it would have been worse. No matter what. In short, eat the rich. Yes. Hard agree. Yeah, no, I feel you. No, there's a part of me that's always going to want to do game dev. There's a part of me that cannot let that go. Like, there's even literally like a small project at work that I got caught up into does like, it's like a side project-y thing for game dev. And I'm just like, well, you got me extremely interested. I'm super, super interested now. But of course, because of that, I ended up spending a little more time on things, which made things even more hectic and meant that I did a little bit of work over the weekend, which I hate doing and try really, really hard not to, but well, deadlines are deadlines, and once this is over, I'm going to try really hard not to get involved in anything even remotely. This wasn't volunteer. This was a, like, opt-out situation. Like, you had to specifically opt out of doing it. You had to go out of your way to opt out, and I didn't. I didn't because I missed the deadline for opting out, and I don't regret it. I don't regret not opting out because I'm happy that I get to find out about the game dev thing. At the same time, we'll see. At new free time, you could even do, we'll see. Because for starters, with the new free time, I don't want to plan anything. But yeah, in the future, maybe I could actually do a little game dev-y stuff. Who knows? The best part is it will hopefully be free time to feel free to do things. And I will decide how to use it. We'll see how it goes, huh? I have a feeling it'll end up being used to catch up on things, but I hope not. We'll see. We'll see. Haven't done so much stuff in a long time, like art, like game dev, etc. You enfold Tange in a gentle hug. After a few seconds of stunned inaction, Tange wraps her arms limply around you as well. You spread your hands wide and hold her more tightly, trying to manifest the right kind of comforting energy to resonate through Tange's shields. Either you manage or she simply relents, but Tange rests her head on top of yours and sighs. This is where I talk about how physical touch encourages the production of oxytocin, which is a bonding hormone that imparts feelings of calm and serenity. Yep, True. You can feel her smile against your hair. I know you know that, though, so I'll simply say, this is nice, thank you. Tianj straightens her coat. I am aware I am not the easiest person to befriend, she admits. Among my many admirable qualities, I'm often cold, brusque, and tactless. I owe you my thanks for taking the time to see through that. I don't know why you would have bothered, but I'm grateful. She looks towards the living quarters as if steeling herself. You don't have to be alone tonight. Oh, an interesting proposition. What precisely do you mean? We keep each other company. Tianj scrutinizes your face for any hint of ulterior motive. Convinced you have none, her shoulders drop. I'd like that, thank you, she says, defeated. You retire back to Tianj's quarters, a largely sterile sleeping room with few human touches, save for a few neglected plants and a ratty blanket that you recognize as the kind Chief Steward Anne used to knit by hand for every kid. There is a physical photo of Tianj and Instance posed awkwardly together, as if they've been working on something and told to take a break to smile for the camera. You keep Tianj quiet company for a few hours, trading bits of conversation till the first sun starts to rise. You look over and see that Tianj's eyes have closed and her face has finally gone slack in much-needed sleep. You pull the blanket over her and close your eyes as well. Catch a few hours before you're both expected back at work. That's pleasant. Neglected plant thing, yup. My basil is starting to die, and I don't think it's coming back this time. It was doing well for a while, though. It was doing really well. You spot Rex sitting on the second floor of an unfinished building, his feet dangling over the edge. He waves at you and gestures you to come sit next to him. Hey, Solana, he said, shooting you a tight smile before looking back over the rest of the colony. From here, you can see the garrison soldiers marching in a round formation with a vase at the head. Rex watches them with an uneasy expression. What is it? Didn't know me fell down the well. Rex musters up another smile. That's a good one. You know I always know how to brighten my day. You have one more surprise up your sleeve, though. You open your bag and pull out the dust melon you've lugged over from the canteen. Rex brightens and makes grabby motions with his hands. Yes, my hero! Rex tears in the soft rind of the melon with his fingers and splits it between the two of you. You sit together and watch Vase bark orders at the other young soldiers. What a bunch of mindless drones. Not all of them, Rex says. Some of them are pretty nice, but everyone in the Heliot listens to Vase, you know? He doesn't like me, so that means I've always been an outsider, whether I wanted it or not. They're friendly to me, I guess, but it's not the same as having friends, not like you or know me. It's fine, though, he says, shrugging dismissively. You don't have to like someone to hook up with them. I just kind of like being the one everyone comes to if they just want to have a good time. What's the deal with you and Vase? Rex's mouth twists and he spits a dust melon seed over the edge of the building. It's kind of a long story, not a fun one. I'd rather not drag it up again, honestly. You mean the short version? Rex frowns as he scratches his nose, still looking at the assembled garrison soldiers. Short version is that Vase isn't really the hero he tells everyone is. He's just a bully. Everyone acts like they like him, but they're just afraid of what he'll do if they step out of line. That's the impression I get too. Rex nods with the slow acceptance of someone who's long made peace with their situation. Yeah, it sucks. It's just... Vase wasn't always like this. He used to be kind of like me, a small, weird kid with a chip on his shoulder who just really wanted people to respect him. He runs his fingertips thoughtfully over his left forearm where a gnarled scar winds over the bone. Well, he got it, Rex continues. Looks like he might say more, but goes quiet a few seconds long instead. Because they're rarely ever planned. Yes, it can happen. Just happen. Just 100 pages. Oh no. That's never happened to me. I always use art as a way to just keep myself from falling asleep during class and being extremely bored. Drawing is something I did when I was bored, and then it became something I thought I was supposed to do, and then it was something that I enjoyed because just for the pure sake of it. And then it became something I didn't like anymore because now it had expectations, and now it's complicated. I had some absolutely amazing mangoes over the weekend. Perfect orangey gold red outside and melt in your mouth smooth. Oh, I love mangoes so much. It has really such a unique texture to it as well. I really, honestly, I need to go traveling to other countries to try fruits that can't be exported because I know there are so many just because a lot of them just won't keep. And I really, really, really want to try so many things. Like, for example, I really want to try the fruit that surrounds cashews because apparently it's delicious, but they can't export it. because it just goes bad. It doesn't work. But like, that fruit's good. It's edible. You just don't want to eat the part around the cashew. That'll make your face swell up and sad. Oh yeah, get into Godot. Do it. I wish it was different, he says eventually. I wish he was different. We could have been friends, maybe. The garrison soldiers break from formation and you watch Anemone approach Vase. He sweeps her up in his arms and swings her around. You can hear her delighted laughter from here. Rex watches us with a frown. Anemone and I don't know each other very well. Probably because Vase is telling her all kinds of lies about me, but a little scared for her, you know? She doesn't know what he's capable of. Rex straightens and puts on a happier face. I don't want to waste my day thinking about Vase, though, he says firmly. Not when there's friends to talk to and a whole world to explore and Duskmelon to eat. Splits off another segment of Duskmelon and eats it with gusto, laughing as the juices dribble onto his mostly bare chest. And bad to have, I guess, he giggles, wiping the juice and licking it off his fingers, seemingly without a care in the world. Good for him. Delicious, smells very unique. Ooh, they make liquor from the cashew fruit. Oh. I would love to try that. That sounds super fascinating. See, there's so many flavors in the world to explore. I have a present for you. It's Sparkles. And for Mars, Mars also gets Sparkles. We're almost at 100. Hope there's a special thing for that. We should start giving Cal stuff too. It's a pet too. It hangs out and is a friend. Oh, you can. It makes noises. It's cute. It's adorable is what it is. Mushwood, 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 mushwood. Okay. We are 18 now. 18. Fresh. Fresh 18. Let's explore. I don't think friendship really degrades, so... see. All events have respawned. All events have respawned. All events have respawned. Well, perception, animals, bravery, perception. We have a good chunk of bravery, honestly. Forage in the valley doesn't really make sense. I'm just so curious if there's anything actually out there on the ridge to explore. Okay, let's just find out if there's like a cool boss thing out here. Because like we don't need the engineering like at all. Tackling something a Doom-esque shooter. Ooh. Oh yeah, they can get Doom to run on anything and everything. I think someone had Doom running on a QR code I saw recently. That was really interesting. Right? Like, Doom on a calculator has been around for a long time. Doom on a pregnancy test. Doom on, yeah, QR code. Doom on... Gosh, what else? I'm literally trying to think so hard of anything else Doom was on. Somehow not surprising. Right! Minecraft. Yeah, that's also not surprising. Doom in Minecraft. Yep. Doom on literal potatoes. Yep. It's such a meme. I love it so much. Utopia sent a team of geologists to get a closer look at this region's weird terrain. You come across them working, Utopia beckons you over. Solana. Solana, come here, everyone. Solana's been working in this area a while. She's got plenty of information on what's out here. Here's what we've got so far. Judging from the layers of how the sedimentation broke up, this place used to be pretty flat. For there must have been a ton of earthquake activity ripping up the land and bringing up these huge ridges. We can date the quakes around the time a lot of these ruins were created. And we're looking, but we haven't seen anything built after them. It's after the convergent domain. The crystals soak up energy from the sun and transfer it underground. What if that energy was unleashed suddenly? Utopia Watch has been used as the geologists crunched numbers. It would have been an enormous amount of energy, but this entire region was one big solar battery. That kind of energy, the energy of 2 suns, could definitely cause earthquakes of the magnitude that could rip apart the land. The what now? I'd never heard of that, she said, and the geologists all exchanged similar looks. You explained that Convergent Domain had this huge computer network and some of it's still running. Used to study and maintain the planet. Might even be dangerous. Utopia doesn't look convinced. Oh yeah, we're not mentioning Sim. I'm not one to throw out a theory. That's pretty far-fetched, Solana. All we've seen are ruins. She squints and thinks it over. Well, if that's true, maybe something was wrong with this raid. Overloaded all the solar crystals. Level of cataclysmic disaster is one sort of thing what might end a civilization. Help them work. It's so much engineering we don't need anymore. I really wish you could like overflow even just half the points into anything else. Tomb running on a Virtua Boy. Yep. I guarantee it's there. Thank you for slaying the bot. RNG Doom's not actually random at all. Draws from an integer table with every call goes down the list before inevitably lapping around. So you play a level the exact same way, it'll play out the same every time. This made the multiplayer consistent easier on bandwidth as making the demos consistent. That's actually smart. That is actually smart. Randomness is not an easy thing to do, actually. And as someone who has to deal with randomness at work right now, yeah, things that make things consistent are great. Seeds are great. You set up a drone hive to measure the sediment layers along the cliff sides. Learn some things about rocks. I hope there's literally anything useful here, or else we're just gonna go back in time and, not do that thing. Check it out. Hollow pillar. Wild, wild, wild. +2, +2. Well, that's how that works. I'll save this for the end. Save this one too. 9, 8, 8, 8. We love it when a plan comes together. Voice. Super goal. If you plan to make something that doesn't rely much on RNG, it's fine. If you want to have players draw random cards from a deck, how can you do that, still sync it without rewriting a lot of code? I mean, the thing is, like, your Doom isn't drawing cards from a deck. Honestly, I would just change how they do randomness, just use any of the other normal, like, rand libraries, and just do that instead of Doom's version of it. Like, you don't need to use the same RNG as Doom. You can change Doom's RNG. You can also use a seed if you want consistency. You could even use a seed based on the original integer table. You could also use, like, just the deck of cards could do a different kind of number generation than everything else. Like, if you're drawing cards from a deck, you already have to write a bunch of code because Doom has nothing to do with drawing cards, so you're already writing code. Solaniki says gravely, "Forgive my directness, but you must come with me now. Please trust me when I say I've done my best to argue on behalf of your kind. I only hope for the continued survival of humanity." Ominous. He crouches down to a slide at a hidden opening under the roots of a tree. You follow, feeling strangely as if you're crawling into the belly of some animal. You emerge into a cave filled with hum of strange machinery. A bank of ancient-looking control panels and a crystal tank of glowing liquid seem almost to have grown out of the natural rock. Mineral deposits from moisture trickling down the walls have reclaimed some of them. Sim leads you to a console. "This is the array," he says, pressing into what seem to be a button. "As I've explained, this body I wear is only a vessel. My consciousness, the person I am, is stored in the array. I return to it regularly, storing my body in the regeneration tank while I back up what I've learned that day in the array." "Physical forms are prone to injury and death," Sim says quietly. "It is temporary, but highly unpleasant. Therefore, the Overseer prefers to remain in the array. Please take hold of these interface handles." Not yet. At this point, just let me work on Godot, have a lot more freedom with 3D design. Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Just do that. You totes can. "Come with the Overseer, bodies are icky." "No, bodies are cool." "It's Overseer's computer?" The word software would be more accurate. A strange presence speaks in your head. "Play cool." You feel the Overseer pause and a sensation in your mind that reminds you of someone clearing their throat. "I am the Overseer," the voice continues. "I speak for the gardeners. We will now show you what we are." I am so ready. You have the oddest feeling of memories being inserted into your mind. First a trickle, then a flood. A civilization called the Convergent Domain once existed on this planet over 20,000 years ago. In your mind, you see their dominions stretched from pole to pole, their farms and solar arrays glittering on the surface as their massive cities tunneled below. Oh yeah, Sim's alive. Turns out, he just had a backup stored elsewhere, but he didn't remember our moment. Already know about the domain. "We are aware of that," the Overseer replies, its voice dry in your mind. "I know most everything that happens on this planet. The Convergent Domain created the gardeners as their ecological control system, a vast network of artificial intelligences stored deep underground in a digital array. Self-propagating control towers and cloning stations were seeded, allowing a gardener to program to take biological form, downloading a copy of its consciousness into a host body created to suit the task at hand. You think of Sim, his body created to do the task of befriending you? Under the direction of the Convergent Domain, the gardeners controlled the weather, the acidity of the soil, the cultivated species in their farms, and the rapidly shrinking wild areas of the planet. The Overseer doesn't quite sigh, but you get the impression it would. Over time, the Domain nearly destroyed this planet. They didn't respect nature? Correct. They saw the natural world as an unending buffet of resources. The exhaust from their factories blanketed the planet, choking out sunlight and oxygen. They consumed too much, destroyed the planet's ecosystem, then fought bitterly over the remaining resources. The last directive the gardeners were given by the Domain was to repair the planet's destroyed ecosystem. Gardeners tried, but it was too late. When the crops failed and the atmosphere became too thick for sunlight to pierce, the Convergent Domain perished by the billions. The last survivors took to the sky in colony ships and never returned. Try to imagine a tragedy on this scale, but it's just too enormous, too abstract to wrap your head around. The Overseer continues relentlessly. New thoughts flooding into your mind. Over the millennia, the gardeners took their task seriously. It takes little effort to render a planet inhospitable, but significant dedication to restore it. Under the guidance of the gardeners and the final directive of the Convergent Domain, nature at last reclaimed the barren planet. The garden existed in perfect balance. And now, your species has invaded it. We had nowhere else to go. Your kind had the option to stay where they were. Do you think we have empathy for the Convergent Domain who fled on colony ships, the one who selfishly refused to give their bodies back to the planet they destroyed with their pride? You chose to come here. And you continue to stay here. You could instead choose to die. You shudder involuntarily. Sounds like a bunch of chads. All the Planeteer villains. Billboard sprite sheet effect, yes. Yeah, those are very fun. Some vertumnant species have a technique of future sight, which the gardeners harness to catch glimpses into the web of your timelines. We see that you possess this technique too, alone in your kind. We have foreseen that humans pose a great danger to this planet. You are a monoculture, an invasive species. You throw our hard-won balance in disarray. Since arriving, you have shown nothing but a willingness to consume the planet's resources and replace them with more humans. We as much afraid to live as anything. Your mind fills with images of species rising and going extinct over thousands of years. Animals with their short lives are ignorant creatures. They care only for survival and for the survival of their children. They have no concept of a legacy that spans the lifetime of a planet. They cannot be blamed, for living is their only purpose. Yet humans are animals with the power of gods. You consume recklessly, and your ceaseless fear of death fouls your every action. You shape the planet, you bend nature to your will, thinking only of yourselves. This is a power no animal should have. Apparently, we're not an animal, but we are, but we're not. Most gardeners would prefer to stamp you humans out like encroaching weeds, the overseer says without malice. Instead, we have tried using ecological compliant organic methods. We are impressed at your tenacity to withstand these eradication procedures. The yearly attacks, the famine, the pollen. Not random occurrences at all, but gardeners' tactics to encourage the eradication of pests. But symbiosis speaks in defense of your kind, the overseer continues, and took effort to convince us that you were sentient and capable of communication. You present us with a quandary. You come from the stars, refugees of a catastrophe of your own design, one that you are intent to recreate here on a planet which still bears the scars of the last time it was used carelessly. So we ask, what are we to do with you? I'm just a kid, I can't answer this. So reasonable. Bulldog, thanks for saying hi. See you later. Bye. I mean, humans can change. I mean, it's funny, I'm just a kid, I can't answer this, but I think humans can change. It's just hard. Honestly, they're probably right to destroy us, but like, humans can change. So we teach your kinds to be stewards of nature. Perhaps your children take up the mantle as well, and their children. But soon you are dead, as are your children's children. Generations pass. No one alive remembers the time the gardeners came to the humans and taught them the proper ways to live. Now there are too many of you to teach and your behavior to entrench. What then? Genocide? Still have no answer. There is silence in your head, and you only hear the sound of water trickling down the cave walls and the gentle hum of the machines. Eventually, the overseer speaks in your mind one last time. For now, you may leave freely. We will consider this quandary. We will be monitoring you and the other humans. This is crazy. You're an adult and you can decide the fate of your entire species. Technically, xenocide. That's true. It's not even genocide, it's xenocide. You feel a strange pull at your consciousness as you remove your hands from the interface. There you have it. Sim murmurs, that is my boss. Your boss needs to get out more. Sim huffs like he's afraid to laugh. He walks over and runs his hands over the console. And now you know how to contact the array, he says quietly, but you should not come here unless I'm with you. When you interface with the array, you hold everything we are in your hands. It took a great deal of negotiating to convince my fellow gardeners to trust you with this power. Please do not prove this trust mistaken. Earn Sim Augment. AI construct. Oh. Just dropping bombs, right? Yeah, don't ever come here alone. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Remarkable. You are the most thoughtful of gift givers. Calm me down. Give me the free stuff. Yes. Right? I mean, fascinating stuff. It'd be funny if I like walk over and the boss thing is like, go in alone. And I'll just be like, quick save. So many things to touch. Oh, it's quite reasonable, actually. You've reached the end of the area. Go home. That seems pretty important, actually, so we're gonna let that happen. Perception, engineering. You roll out of bed at noon because you're allowed to, because it's your birthday, but also because you're exhausted. You barely slept at all last night. You've been having these nightmares since the siege, more and more every night, like they're trying to tell you something urgent. You can't make any sense of it. All the imagery is jumbled together, all these possibilities and timelines and things that might happen. Some nights you wake up in a cold sweat scream already in your throat. See it being a trap, just to see if you'll try destroying the boss and prove humans are trustworthy. That, honestly, I feel like this game, it's very possible, but to me, that also seems like something that would be pretty tropey. I really want to be surprised. I'm really hoping that the writers here tried to come up with something that would surprise me with how they're handling it, right? Because a lot of this writing is extremely well thought out, like super, super well thought out, like super deep, super intense. Like there's so much that has gone into everything, so much research about everything. They really tried to make it feel as immersive and like realistic as possible while still being, Exocolonist. So I feel like they'll still surprise me. But we'll see. Because it's still very possible they'll do something like that. I mean, I imagine if it's the opposite, like if you do something like you go there alone and like try to destroy the machine, then yeah, that one would work. But I feel like it's not going to be the other way around of, oh, you didn't try to destroy us, therefore you're trustworthy. I feel like that's not going to be the case. It won't be as simple. But it's simple to break trust. It's always easier to break trust than it is to, build it. Craziest part about Doom Engine is seeing people casually make a whole roguelike in the engine. No doubt it's still very powerful. You're just heck to witness a game as old as time being turned into something so much more between eras. That is also how humanity works. That's one of the things, is like, humanity is so much more than all of this shenanigans. It is so much. My house.wad, they warped the engine to do. I am going to pull up that link for later. My house.wad. It's okay, I have to Google it. Yeah, Google. I literally just Googled Google, you guys. Inside is Doom's most terrifying mod. Alright, pulling that up for later. It's a file. That explains it. You sit on the edge of your bed, run a hand through your hair, and check with your hollow palm. A few people wish you happy birthday, that's all. Guess you're getting older. Birthdays aren't important as they used to be. Oh man, right, there's gonna be a surprise birthday party waiting for you in the lounge. It was one of your dreams. You remember it because it was one of the few ones that didn't involve people dying or the colony being destroyed, but you're so tired. Do you really have to do this? Pretend to be surprised, it was fun. Surprise! You do your very best to play along and act surprised. Woo, streamers, balloons, great! My friends are sitting around wearing goofy hands and clapping. Nomi's holding a bunch of balloons larger than they are. Rex wearing a cute little waiter's outfit with a bow tie. Accept their hugs and birthday wishes, trying to hide your exhaustion and demurring with a few pointed, all this for me? You shouldn't have. No, really. Cal brings over a hollow screen with a video call from Tammy. She looks exhausted but proud. In her arms is a tiny little bundle of baby. Look, Solana. Ikanisha missed your birthday by a day. You coo over the baby girl and wish Tammy a speedy recovery. She looks even more tired than you are, but everyone is healthy and happy. Especially Cal. Takes over the hollow screen for a few minutes after you're done so he can obsess over Tammy's new baby. Even though he's probably not, supposed to be related to Ikanisha, he's every bit the proud daddy. When he returns to the party, he's so happy he sounds like a total dork. He tells everyone about the new baby, beaming so proudly for Tammy they could probably take readings from Earth. Oh, this recursive looping. Yep. It's honestly, the recursive loopy stuff that happens in here too is honestly just another crazy part of this. Like, this, even without that, this story would be great. Adding that on top of it is just insane. He gets an unexpected guest, the Helios. Then he gives you a little wave, which earns a weird look from face. Who invited you guys? This is a private party. It's a public lounge. We can sit wherever we want. You guys think just because you fell out of sky, you're a wormhole's gift of Fortuna. We don't need you. You're just a bunch of fascists. No, none of them are. Fight, fight, fight. He throws himself between Cal and his assailants, catching a few kicks on Cal's behalf before the Helios get tired and leave. Face doesn't get involved, but he doesn't stop them either. He's the last to leave the lounge, staring hard at Rex before smirking and turning away. Doom information is all sorted in WAD files. Where's all the data? So most mods have their own WAD files. Interesting. I'm definitely gonna look into this video after stream. Thank you for the... I love so much, like, learning about new things because of stream. I love it, love it, love it. It is gonna be such a change going to 1 day per week, but at least y'all will still be around from time to time. I'll still get these surprises of, like, new bits and pieces of information out of nowhere. I'll never be able to fully give it up, I think. Well, well, Mars exclaims, clapping her hands. That was enough excitement, I think. Let's move on to the important part, cake and presents. Under Mars' skillful party hosting hand, the mood shifts back to festive. You enjoy your presents and cake. The tension's boiling over like that is a bad omen for the rest of the year. Sure is. Pretty concerning. Just saying. Rex, do you want some wood? Get that baby time in while Tammy's up. Look at her, she the best. Wood. Because yes. Yes, but that's my... nerds are my favorite people, like, of all time. Like... people who are interested in things and passionate about stuff and love to, like, see things and love to share information. Literally my favorite kind of people. Curiosity is 100% my favorite trait in humanity. Curiosity is one of the best things that we have as a species, and it is one of the the coolest things that we're able to, like, build on top of it. Right? Just new fun facts every day. Love it, love it, love it. Happy birthday, Solana. Made you this. She gives me cake. I'm so, like, I love how, like, that part of Tammy never changes. Like, literally, her birthday text is always exactly the same. Oh, I don't think I would have been upset straight up being a teacher. It's just the case of, like, that path is not where I wanted to go. I want to make tools and things for language learning. I want to, or for learning, but mostly language learning. I want to make games for language learning still. That's still on my list of things to do for the future. It's just, you know, there are other opportunities in life that I will definitely have to teach others. And when I get the chance, I do. And I still love sharing bits and pieces of information with people. It's also one of those things where, like, teaching, like many things for me, might be better as a hobby than a career, but we'll see. Because there's also the fact that I actually have no idea where my life will lead me. Like, again, if you had told me, gosh, actually with all the changes going on in my life, even recently, if you told me a year ago that I'd be here in this position and now and all this stuff, like, I would have no idea how to process that information of, like, even just seeing a snapshot of my life. TEDx talks, but, like, a real one. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, though, I don't like making presentations. I'm okay if the presentations is like, the thing is like, I can get up and like talk about stuff. Maybe giving TED Talks in a few years. Ah, okay. Oh man. Yeah, I remember when like TED Talks were like a big deal. And then like if anyone can give TED Talks, there are still some good TED Talks that were like really, really good. Who knows? Maybe one day. I have given a talk at like a conference before. It was really fun. It was part of what like helped actually jumpstart me into having a career. It was also extremely stressful, but I worked really, really hard on the presentation. It's easy to go up and talk about stuff that I care about. It's hard to organize my thoughts because everything's connected to everything because yay, ADHD. And also, well, yeah, but the passion, it's there. It can't not be hidden. Passion is always there. And I definitely do have to admit that I have learned an insane amount of stuff for my job, even things that like I didn't expect to learn, or things that like, oh, that's actually a thing that I like didn't know or realize or understand before that now I do. And it's just kind of weird to like when it happens in like different contexts. I'm like, wait, actually I do learn stuff of my job. I am a professional. That's crazy. When did I become a professional? That's not me. I'm a silly goober. I'm just a silly jellycat. How am I a professional who knows things and is capable of stuff? I'm never gonna believe that. That's crazy. Reasoning, empathy. Honestly, tutoring children might be good in the game here. Funny, we're talking about teaching children's, or just teaching in general. Dream about a language learning game. Player was trapped on an abandoned alien starship. Everything was in the chosen language to learn. To progress and even get extra goodies, you just slowly learn the language, starting as early as sort of kindergarten area before making it to part of the game where you have to help an alien do their taxes to progress. That sounds really interesting, actually. You really could have something like that. It actually kind of reminds me of like the beginning of Fallout 3 also, where like you have, like you kind of do grow up also. Yeah, it also kind of like a little bit, I mean, there is definitely some parts of it with like, gosh. Oh my gosh, what's the name of it? Chance of Sonar, a little bit. Chance of Sonar. But definitely, like, that was really, really cool. Like, that was a completely unique experience. But, like, you couldn't do that with real language because the grammar was all extremely simplified, but it was really, really cool. All of that is still on YouTube, so if you want to ever take a peek at that again like that, or just play the game, honestly. Play the game is also what I can highly recommend. That game is really cool. Tunic. I don't know Tunic. Actually, I do have some other cool language learning games like that, like 7 Days to End With You. It's just like, it's not like you don't learn an actual language, but like you just wake up and like there's this person talking to you and there's symbols everywhere and you just kind of have to try and figure stuff out and hope for the best. I mean, honestly, the fact that I'm trying like at all to learn Russian lately, and believe me, it is the slowest progress you can possibly imagine. I barely know anything, but I'm trying to use Stardew Valley as a thing to do that, but also it's hard because it's hard to read. It is hard to read. Like, yes, I can understand some of the letters, but then they're pronounced differently sometimes. And then like, oh, there's also the stress pitch accent. It's like, but when? How do you know which thing is stressed? It's just like English. You just have to find out and memorize it. Oh boy, that's fun. I actually know a ton of native speakers though, so I'm actually surprised how many native speakers of Russian I am surrounded by just on a daily basis. While not a genuine language learning game, you spend the game playing sort of Zelda-esque thing while learning a fictional language. Oh, that sounds fun too. There's a market to teach emotional intelligence through a game. There mimic movement and body signs to help there. In terms of, you could teach people to read other people, but then it also would be very culturally based as well, and also very context based. So you could like put them into situations where like, oh, hold on, actually. Okay, hold on. I suddenly have like a, you know, when a thought just kind of goes somewhere and you don't really have control over it. You gave me a really interesting idea. Okay, imagine you're playing a detective game And you have to figure out through like the body language and tone of the characters slash actors. And it could even be like one of those games that uses like actual video of people and like, or even just recorded movement of people with 3D characters and stuff. Like you could do a lot of that, especially with a lot of the mocap we have nowadays. It's really, really good. But honestly, it's even better if you just do like some actual scenes and stuff. You're like, oh, you're a detective. You have to figure out through body language, through this stuff, through facial expressions, these things, like how these characters, like maybe get hints about stuff, about how characters feel, like try to learn that sort of thing. That would be, you could do some detective-y work with that. You could put people into like scenes, like heavily in media res. Yeah, LA Noire, I know they wanted to, but like, it also was like, old school detective stuff. Yeah. But I imagine like literally bits and pieces. Like you get thrown directly into a mystery and then it's like Monster of the Week sort of thing. So then like you go to a whole totally different kind of mystery. Because the problem is if you have to connect them, then you end up with things where you're just like walking between places and stuff. Yeah, LA Noire unfortunately was a little bit too early to have the right technology for it. Never actually tried to play that game, but I have seen some memes from it for sure. But it would be really fun to just like, you know, watch people do stuff and see how they act and try to understand like guilt and stuff. The thing is that a lot of the tells people have are going to be different per person. And like a lot of tricks like, oh, if someone has their arms crossed, it means they're uncomfortable and it's a self-hug is like almost pseudo psychology because like kinda, yeah, but like there's also so many other reasons people could do it that like you need every little inch of context to actually kind of understand. And even then, part of the context you need is what's going on in this person's head and in their day-to-day life. Really young when I had to read the manual, had my parents explain what enough said meant. Didn't realize it was a shorthand slang term. Oh, I remember like, people do not type like that anymore. But like that is a thing like I read in some books and stuff as a kid, you know, like, oh, you know, enough said. And like that's how people talk, but writing like that is now cringe, I guess. Yeah, I don't think, imagine someone sending a text that says enough said. Like you would think they're doing a bit at this point. Is it because it's old? I don't know. See if there's anyone else I can talk to. Right? Go tutor children. Or maybe I should be exploring more alien shenanigans. It's hard to like avoid exploring alien shenanigans because it's fun. Inside the Walls is incredible. Alien stuff. I guess I'm gonna keep giving alien stuff to Dis. Say no more. Yeah. Yeah, at this point it'd be Say No More. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. It's that it phased out. Because like you can say No More fam, but I guarantee you in like 10, 15 years, typing Say No More is gonna look like really cringe and like passe. It just depends. I mean, some things are evergreen, like cool. People have been saying cool since like, I think the 1800s. It's just stuck around forever. Like it's evergreen. Okay, explore. Yeah, let's check out one of the explory things. I can't help it. Like I always think there's just more out there. What else is out there? What's out there? It's also like YOLO. Like now, like YOLO became used mostly ironically. So now if you say it, if you use it like a little bit ironically, as long as you say it every once in a while, it's funny. But like there's a couple of things that like were said too much or were said in a way where like it never really, you know, happened. Like stop trying to make fetch happen. It's never gonna happen. It's ironic when people got tattooed. Oh, yep. Those tattoos are forever. But apparently, oh my God, tribal lower back tattoos are coming back. Tribal tattoos in general are coming back. Like literally, how do I know this? Instagram. You're seeing more and more of them. They are slowly coming back because they're old enough now that now it's like retro, even though like They were cringe then. They're certainly a choice now, but I have to admit some of the tribal stuff did look cool. I'll have to admit, but it's cool as a design. I wouldn't want something like that on me. That's the one time I got a used copy of a game in another language. Do not remember what language. Remember, it looked like someone fell on their keyboard, but it was both my first exposure to the language and how I found out GBA isn't region locked. If it looks like someone fell on the keyboard and it was from the Game Boy Advanced, I wonder, because like, was it a Nintendo game? Because like, there wouldn't be that many options for European languages at that point. Honestly, the closest thing for that might be honestly like German, to have words that you like did not recognize at all. One of my buddies convinced me to sit on the idea for a year. Said he'd pay for it if I still wanted that. Yeah, he'd have no sleeve as a result. Something third party. Well, then it could be anything. Who knows? Maybe Finnish. But most likely there was not. I don't know. That's really interesting. That'd be so interesting to just like, especially as a kid, when you have all that time to just like look stuff up and be curious about stuff, just getting a game in a language that you do not know. Yeah, no, honestly, here's the thing with tattoos is that like, with tattoos, generally, the older the idea is, the more likely it's just going to be evergreen. Like, if you get like an old Japanese style tattoo, it's never going to become uncool. It's always going to have the exact same vibe as it did back then, and it will in the future. That's also why I like the new school versions of it. Like, you can get the old Japanese style stuff, but like inspired by new things. There's also like certain like patterns, like ornamental patterns. Like, imagine things that you've seen, even like stuff you see on lace, things that you've seen on wallpapers and stuff like that. And I'm not talking on like, I mean in real life, like wallpaper, or like in sculptures, like those sort of like floral or like filigree or those kind of patterns. Those are evergreen. You can get that kind of stuff on yourself, because even if you like, yeah, if you get it a certain way, it's going to look like old school, like really, really old, but it also could look really, really cool. Works. I've also seen some really gorgeous tattoos that are like basically, like the Chinese porcelain, like the white with blue. Like, I've seen that as tattoos and it looks so good. It looks amazing. Like, I hope it lasts because it looks absolutely gorgeous, incredible. Yep, sci-fi vibe, yeah. Just you wait, you're gonna start seeing more also what the like mechanical tattoos or something too. Starts another language, starts converting into your chosen language. This is also one I've thought about as well. Like, you could definitely have something like that like slowly turns into the other one. The problem is if you stop it for a while and come back, you're going to be lost again. And also, it's actually really hard to do it the right way, but it's definitely doable. But you'd have to really heavily program every aspect of it and really, really think about where the story is going to take you. And you still don't want to start with, I mean, you can still start with hi, how are you? And that'll just be in the new language, like instantly, forever. Our family tattoos tend to lose color. It depends. It's really about how often it's in the sun. Like, if you keep it out of the sun, if you always put on sunscreen, always wear sleeves, etc., like, you can keep it forever. There's also the fact that like the inks that they've used even like 10 years ago are completely different than what they're doing nowadays. They last longer, they keep their color better. Like, fact of the matter is, the tattoos people are getting nowadays, a lot of them are actually going to last a lot longer and a lot better. We also know how to take better care of tattoos in general. Huh? You see what I did? No life Terraria for 2000. Yep. I mean, I'm playing Terraria in Polish, but like, I also know Polish, so it's not really that crazy. At some point, I'll have to turn my Terraria to Russian, and then I'll be really confused, because I'll be like, I have no idea what this thing is in my inventory anymore. Like, listen, even just emerald in Polish, szmaragd. Like, who came up with this for emerald? Like, that sounds very silly and unpleasant. Like, let me type this for you guys. Cause like it's crazy looking. Smaragd. Emerald. Actually, I'm not even certain I typed it correctly. That's the best part, is I'm not certain. But I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up now, because if I typed it wrong, I'm gonna feel like a dum-dum. Commuter 80s femme fatale Russian voice. I mean, maybe. It would certainly be interesting. I mean, you'd be surprised, though, because, like, Russian, or people who speak Russian natively, their accents in English are not really like the American Russian accent that you hear in, like, films and stuff. It's just not like that. It doesn't sound like that. There's some parts of it that are, but like for the most part, no, especially because people actually do generally a pretty good job of learning a lot of parts of pronunciation because of YouTube and stuff, so would be surprised. Izumrud. Did away. The hand shoes, yes. Oh, Shmaragd. Yeah, I spelled it right, actually. I don't know what Izumrud is. Political sleep. No more boss fights. Well, I don't have boss fights anyways, but... Explore nearby. Let's just see if there's something interesting out here in the nearby. There's always a sim. I do love going through all these things and just touching and grabbing stuff and going back home afterwards. Give me the good stuff. Oh, there's a boss fight. Only you know how to find it. It's thrilling to get there, yes. On his neighbors. That's fine. Plus the flushes. This is the highest value. You're never gonna. 2 extra cards when drawn. Yep. Yupper noodles. Like, you could have gotten +2. How could I have gotten +2? Don't know. To cross a fawn log over a deep ravine to get there. Today you make it across, controlling your fear and walking steadily without shaking. Mushroom forest, yes. I love mushroom forests forever. I will never not love mushroom forests. You arrive at an orchard of bomber fruit. The sweet citrusy smell wafts from the red fruit as it bounces enticingly up and down at the end of long branches. Check carefully for animals. You've seen a territorial bush bub here before. It looks like the coast is clear. Go home. Nice. It's basically free exploration. Got 2 stress. I say free, but at the same time, I feel like I could be spending my stuff on better things. But also, I don't know. I feel like some stuff is definitely time locked. Yeah, there's always a photo phoner. We could play with the photo phoner. Do we have to have the photo phoner equipped? No, we don't. Hell yeah, let's do it. Free stress. It's called going to work. Oh man, you right. You right. The last time there was a baby in the colony, you were basically a child yourself. You don't remember babies being so loud. The adults are all very empathetic to Colicky, Fussy, and Kanisha, but every time you've seen Tammy since Baby Rise, she's looked more tired. At night, you can hear them all the way in your room. Kanisha's tiny, choking shrieks and Tammy singing to her until her voice goes hoarse. Everyone expected Tammy to rely on Aunt Anna in the new crush, letting her watch Kanisha just like she watched all of you when you were babies. For some reason, Tammy's been stubbornly trying to do it alone. Maybe because she's so much experience from volunteering in the old crush, Tammy thinks she doesn't need the help. Even when she does put Kanisha in the crush, it's because Tammy's right there, still caring for her. Then the things Tammy would normally help get backed up, which makes her even more stressed. Aunt Anne has tried to convince Tammy not to be so controlling. It takes a community to raise a child. You've all grown up believing that. But whenever anyone even insinuates Tammy might not all be Kanisha needs, she starts crying and yelling at them. You've never seen Tammy yell. It's really unsettling. Hey, how are you, girl? It's my turn to babysit. Steal baby. Oh, it's a great idea, Kanisha. It's time to meet Auntie Solana. I mean, it's got some of her genes because it's got the same ears. Tammy fall into a routine where every evening after dinner, you and Kanisha go for a nice long walk through the gardens. Getting just a few hours of sleep before staying up most of the night with Kanisha does wonders for Tammy's sanity. Soon, she's confident enough to allow other people to help out during the daytime. Cal's relief. She'd been freezing him out as well, insisting because Kanisha's her baby alone, she should be able to handle it. Seeing him hold Kanisha just looks right. Awesome, Axel. Yes, this plushie is so cute. This one too. Eventually, Tammy agrees to place Kanisha in the creche during the day so she can fully recover from the birth and sort out her mental health. She still spends a lot of time in the creche, but it's because she wants to, not because she feels like she has to prove she's a good mother. It's still hard raising little baby, but Tammy's gonna do great. A little help from the colony that loves her. Axolotl, Axolotl. Surprise party. Saving Tammy, oh yeah. Tammy could have died, and that would have been a whole different game, and I would have been very sad. Learning to make plushies sounds really cool. We should totally do it. $2,666. +3 bonus to pair. Nice. Now we could do even better, but still. Honestly, we could do better. That's better already. Yeah, just give me the goods. +5 creativity. Not very stressful, honestly. Ooh, that was no photo phoner. Improve my knowledge, yes. Borderline, yeah, she could have had, like, that's the thing about, like, things like postpartum, like, while it is a hormonal disorder, it can absolutely be made worse by circumstances. Like, the fact is, like, hormones and neurotransmitters and all that stuff, like, there is a massive body-mind connection, and it goes both ways, absolutely. Like, you gotta take very good care of yourself, and I'm super glad that everything's okay with Tammy. I feel like if you didn't help her, it could have gotten worse, but I mean, she'll figure it out. There you are, Solana. Tammy bounds over to you in a bright mood, her daughter Kanisha in a sling in her bosom. Could you do me a big favor? Come with me to cafe. I need your opinion on a thing I've been making. I'm kind of busy, but okay. How rude. Let's never be mean to Tammy ever. Surprise! Happy birthday, Solana. What? It's not your birthday. You walk to the cafeteria. All your friends jump out cheering. Knit Party has throwing streamers. You're pretty sure you can see your tiered display of cupcakes. I know it's not your birthday, but you've been feeling under the weather, so I want to show you how much we all love you. You're so special to us, Solana. And Tammy bounces from side to side. I want you to enjoy yourself. Go ahead and mingle. I'll put the finishing touches on everything, okay? Tammy gives you one last sunny smile as she bustles away. The sound of Echinacea fussing and crying is audible over the murmur of conversation that erupts as the party begins in earnest. Get an audience with Mars. Mars has set up in the court in the middle of the room, hollow screen in front of her, and a wine glass in the other. Merry unbirthday. Okie dokie, have fun with dog. As you approach, she touches palms to transfer her files with someone you recognize from command, who skitters away into the crowd. Darling, Mars exclaims, standing up and breezily depositing air kisses on both your cheeks. She smells amazing. Happy birthday. It's marvelous what Tammy can do with a little determination. A little rustic, but a bit charming. Couldn't have asked for better. Your lack of imagination is tragic, but we can talk about that another day. Mars lets you try a sip of her wine. You're not sure what earth wine tastes like, but you hope it's better than this. Mars laughs at your face as you bravely swallow. It's an acquired taste. You spot Tammy passing a tray of food she can change Echinacea. Sauntered Rex. It's easy to find Rex. He's the loudest one in the room and absolutely covered in children, like a golem made out of smaller golems. That's a great image. Unbirthday. Oh God. Oh Lord. But no, because it's from Alice in Wonderland. It's just, let it happen. It's fine. We don't all have to have our heads like all sorts of corrupted by the horrors of the internet. Things can sometimes just be fun. It's okay. We can have fun. Everyone say hi to Solana, Rex says. The children all yell at you before releasing Rex and scattering like stink roaches. Rex laughs and takes the chance to stretch, swinging his arms overhead. Thanks, I was done for. Considering a career change? I do make a pretty good climbing gym, he says thoughtfully. It's one of my many talents. Tammy had to bring all the kids she babysits here so she could set up the party, so I figured I could give her a break. Rex's ears twitch as an ear-piercing squawk from Echinacea rips through the ear. Some things I can't help with, though. Like for Tangent. You almost didn't expect to see Tangent here, but here she is. Sitting quietly at a table near the edge of the room, sipping water, watching as the party unfolds. She gives you a small smile as you slide into a seat across from her. It's not your birthday, she says, cutting right into taste. This is patently ridiculous. Parties are an important bonding ritual. Tangent's icy smile warms a little. I'm glad you at least recognize this is an exercise in cognitive dissonance, or I'd have to wonder who you are and what you do with Solana. One of her mouths twitches up, teasing. Go talk to Mom and Dad. The internet gives interesting gifts. True, the internet giveth, the internet taketh away. The internet also giveth the eye bleach, which is important. Lots of adorable. Listen, here's the thing. I could watch silly and cute cat videos literally all day. I never get tired of it. Cats never get boring. It is what it is. My little gooseberry. That says, I know it's not really your birthday, but your mom and I think you're great every day, so why wait? Your dad puts his hands on your shoulders and gives you a serious look. I know things have been hard for you lately. Just want to let you know that no matter what, your folks are here for you all the way. Mom nods. Your dad's right. We'll always be here for you. There's nothing you can't handle. A quavery cry wobbles through the air, and you can see Tammy rocking from side to side. She tries to comfort Echinacea. Talk to Tammy. Let's you and me blow this popsicle stand. You leave the party behind, seeking out Tammy. When she sees you, she's making a shooing motion. No, go enjoy your party. She walks, pulling at Tammy's hair. She winces and patiently pries the baby's chubby, grasping hands from her hair. Seriously, goodness, don't waste your time here with me. Nowhere I'd rather be than with you. Oh, that's so nice of you to say. Tammy flags down Nugget, who's been running plates back and forth. Can you please play with Echinacea for a little bit? Solana and I are going to get some air. Okay, I'm all yours, Solana. An apartment that let me have a cat. Oh, yeah. One day. Honestly, at this point, I'm probably just going to start saving up, for my own apartment. We'll see if that's literally possible one day. Maybe. Because, I have a job. I can try to make a savings. Maybe. Because then no one can stop me from having cats. 2 cats. Specifically 2 cats. Because they should have a friend. Cats should have a cat friend. This is something that I think is very... it's not 100% every single person who has cats has to have 2 cats. But I think when possible, it's pretty ideal to have 2 cats. Because when cats hang out with other cats, it's also soft and fluffy and adorable. I am partially allergic and I don't care. I love cats. My allergies also get slowly better over time the longer I'm with the cats, and it's fine. I don't care. It's worth it. It's so worth it. I'll still put my face directly into cat fur. I love cats so much. Also, I wasn't allergic until COVID, so at least maybe, I don't know, maybe I was allergic the whole time. All I know is that after COVID, I noticed itchiness and stuff, and maybe it was always there and I just thought that like I had a fur on me or something. Maybe it got worse during COVID times. Maybe it got worse when I left and stopped living with cats and then came back. I don't know. All I know is that definitely the allergies are much stronger since COVID. If I had them before, they've gotten stronger. If I didn't have them, now I do have them. But I do have them, and that's fun. It's not, but I love it anyways. I love the kitty cats. Very worth. You and Tammy slip out the side door of the cafe, set off towards the garden. Tammy seems grateful for the break. She chats animatedly about the plans to build a new creche now that the second wave of colonists are beginning to realize the benefits of raising children communally instead of saddling whoever birthed them with all the responsibility. I hope that means Echinacea will have lots of other creche sibs soon, just like we did. I just want her to be happy, like we were. It's Sphinx cats. It's not really just the fur that I'm allergic to, though. That's the thing. Like, it's also the saliva. So it wouldn't really stop the allergies, and I really like fluffy fur. Sphinx cats are neat, but I prefer to have a fluffy cat because the fur is worth it for me. I could pet a fluffy cat forever. Sphinx cats are strange to pet for me. Like, it's still nice, but it's like petting a baby. Because it's like skin with little peach fuzz. It's strange. They do have really funny personalities, that's for sure. Like, they are hilarious. I'll definitely agree with that. You both look over the walls and the threat of danger they represent. Tammy doesn't comment on her use of the past tense, and you let it sit in the air between you. Not awkward, just accepting. It's quiet in the garden at this time of day. Everyone's either at the party or catching some rest while the suns are at their highest. A garden bot hops by on its spindly bird legs. You and Tammy are alone. Even in your silence, Tammy senses you might have something to say. What's on your mind, Selena? I'm so lucky to have you as a friend. Oh, honestly, yeah, like, Tammy is such a fantastic friend. Like, she's such a pure and wholesome person. Like, she's literally my favorite. Oh, I'm the one who's lucky, Solana. I don't know why you choose to be my friend, but I'm so grateful. You and Tammy enjoy a few more minutes together in the garden, cloud watching and talking about whatever crosses your mind. Tammy's simple thankfulness is infectious, from her excitement over a new flower to her steadfast love for you shining through every of her words. You can feel your heart unburden itself with each step, dropping your troubles like stones to mark where you've been. Haha, look at that. No stress. Eventually it's time to head back to the party. There's cupcakes to eat after all. I like how I'm getting all this like anti-stress all at the same time. Apparently just hanging out and doing photo phoner stuff is just no stress. You just kind of keep doing stuff. Tammy takes Echinacea back from Nugget, but before you can rejoin the party, Tammy stops with a hand on your arm. Wait, I have a present for you too. You protest that Tammy's already done enough, but Tammy's hearing none of it as she presses a book into your hands. The title reads 100 Reasons Why I Love You. The book is filled cover to cover with memories, fond observations, and even little sketches, all in Tammy's loving hand. There's more than 100, she says shyly, tugging one ear. I wrote the title first, then I couldn't stop writing. You don't know what to say. Tammy's simply the best. The rest of the party goes off without a hitch. Even little Echinacea is well behaved now, letting Tammy light the cupcakes. As you blow out your candles and everyone cheers, your only wish is to be able to feel like this forever, surrounded by love and support. You romancing everyone? It's not romantic. I just think she's adorable. And it's definitely not like they're a thing. They're 100% a thing. It's just a case of, you know, you can love your friends. And she does. She honestly, I don't know. It's hard to understand exactly like how the depth of this particular friendship, but Tammy is just so perfect. The largest poly relationship in space. Oh goodness. No, Rex even kind of low-key dumped us. He didn't want to share, which is funny because like he's apparently cool to share with everyone, but they should do that later when we get the stuff. Hello, strong abs. Oh goodness, I wish. I'll get them again, but still, it's been a while since I felt like I've had any kind of strong abs. Goodness, what am I to do? I don't know what to do with myself. Present. Sparkle. Tammy. Rex dumped you, right? Like, he's just like, listen, I see like you're doing stuff with Diz, so like have fun. And then just like stops seeing me. Tammy is late pollen. We can give her the flower at least. Bopper fruit. Maybe one day Cal will like us more. Like, I don't think he dislikes us. I don't think he's capable of disliking us, but still. We're still at 100 with Tand, I think. I think we're good. Reasoning 80 or greater. Oh, that'll take a while. Tammy's daughter cries literally all night and all day. It doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. Sleeping, I can hear her. Watching Holovitz, I can hear her. Nothing makes you more thankful of contraceptives of being around. Yep, Mars, I'm sure you would feel this way. Present. You remembered my birthday and, oh, I did not remember your birthday, Rex, but I did get you wood. I said it could be one of those. Yep, absolutely. I feel like Mars wouldn't even really want to be in a couple with someone unless she could be a power couple. I mean, you know she's doing stuff with Rex, but like, I don't think she'd ever want it to be like a thing, you know? Reasoning? Yeah, I can get plus reasoning from that. Maybe I should do a little bit of reasoning. Like, you know. You're helping Tammy brush up on her math and chemistry. Antecedent says I need to measure when I'm baking. She says, staring timidly at her hands. When I'm baking, I just go by how the dough feels or looks or smells, and it always works out. When I try to measure and think too hard, I get it wrong. She told me if I want to do it by feel, then I need to get better at chemistry, too. She showed me this long textbook about food chemistry and how proteins combine to form gluten, how acid makes things fluffy and soft. I didn't know any of that. Aren't acids bad? Why would I put them in food? Go easy on her. She'll never learn if she isn't enjoying it. You gently encourage Tammy as you read through the food chemistry textbook together and work on some practice tests, even when she gets every question wrong. Though she'll probably I think weren't we tutoring children? Like, I think maybe this was supposed to happen when we were kids. She'll never be a chemistry whiz like Tan. She blossoms with every compliment, slowly gaining confidence in her abilities. This isn't as scary as I thought it would be, she says as she closes her hollow bomb. Thanks, Solana. When the lesson's over, Tammy insists she bakes you a cake to show us she's learned. She didn't really understand the lessons, but she has the confidence to taste it as she goes and adjust a recipe based on gut feeling, now informed by some solid book learning. Did she learn anything about math or chemistry? Maybe not. She's a better baker now. That was her goal. She happily gives you a piece and thanks for being a good teacher. It's not bad, but you aren't sure she should be thanking you. I feel like having a kid would be fun at the same time, but I'm ready for it. Honestly though, like, straight up, it's one of those things where, like, everyone says you're never ready. Like, I don't know, if you've ever read literally, even the boomer advice online is you're never ready. So it is what it is. It is such a personal choice though, you know? Let's take the last card. Third? Both? No. I think lots of millennials don't want to have any children. Yes, it's sort of the thing. Yeah, no, having kids to have them is terrible. Like, there are definitely some people who do it just because they think they're supposed to, and that's like, it's such an important choice, and it really needs to be a choice that like you go into like fully being ready and accepting, not just like yeah, sure, you're not gonna love every second of it, but you need to be prepared for the fact that it is literally basically like you're gonna have a whole nother roommate, and they will eventually be like that because they're a person, but they're gonna be like really bad at being a person for a super long time, and like they're basically just a poop factory at first. Like, you'll get different problems through every stage, but it's also, people say it's like the most rewarding thing you'll ever do, but it really, 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 really depends on like, here's the thing. It depends on who you raising the kid with. And I mean that not in just like the partner, because obviously that is the most important thing, but like it also would matter a whole lot for like the community you have. Like, if it's just going to be you and your partner, which I think is a lot of times the other reason why a lot of people in the US don't want to have kids, especially like millennials onward, once you kind of get this feeling of, wait, it's a choice, and like you don't have to make that choice, is because not only is it extremely crazy expensive, and a lot of people are like, oh, you can't do that. Like, it's something where like okay, I say we, but like when I was living in the US still, I felt so isolated from so many people. I had friends, but a lot of them lived like states away or hours away, and like my parents were far away, and even then I have a complicated relationship with my parents anyway, so it like that didn't feel like, oh, I have a community, you know? It's something that like you would feel confident in. And a lot of people, millennials onward, especially once you find out, oh wait, actually growing up with trauma and all these other things makes it really hard to like want to pass that on, knowing all the stuff that's happened to you, and like, oh, do you want that to happen to someone else? Do you want to accidentally mess up someone else's life? And it's this whole thing. It's real complicated, and like so many countries are trying to solve the problem of the birth rate lowering, but like it's not necessarily a problem, but it is also a sign that like people are not really optimistic about the future. And that's the bigger problem, is that people don't feel stable, and people don't feel like they are able to handle things that are going to happen in the future. People know that kids bring so much chaos and all the good and bad. Like, it is a variable that like will change everything. And with that amount of variability, if you don't already feel like you have some kind of stability, you're not going to make that choice. And like, you know, I totally get it. I totally get why more and more people are choosing not to, but I also respect completely every person who does decide to make that choice on purpose. Like, I have immense respect for those people. I think it's amazing. And yeah. Yep. It's hard to feel like you really feel like you want to do everything right, everything perfect. Nothing in life is perfect though. There never will be a perfect time. There never will be a stuff, but like, man, you want to try, right? You want to try to be in a pretty good place for it. Is it pretty and great? It is. It is a biological drive. It is a desire. Like, and there's reason for that. Like, it's part of being a part of humanity. We are all someone's child. We all were a part of that system. Yeah, it's crazy out there. Used to have the poop factory too. Dogs are basically like toddlers forever. Honestly, I personally don't think I'd ever want to. I would personally prefer, this is very, very personal, I would prefer to have a child than a dog. And that is because, like, for me, like, I like cats. I don't gotta go outside with a cat. I understand cats. Cats are pretty independent overall. A dog is super dependent on you the whole time. I didn't grow up with dogs. I'm not used to dogs. And I like dogs. I do like dogs. But to me, it's like I want I would want them to grow up and be independent. Like to go somewhere, right? Also, yeah, 8 is crazy. I remember your family used to like breed dogs, I think it was. Like this kind of collie, the super soft, fluffy type of collie. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, no. I mean, if you've been around that your whole life, it's gotta be like as easy as breathing almost to just be used to that sort of thing. But at the same time, yeah, you could do it. I think the hardest thing, honestly, with like also people wanting to parent and feeling like they're never going to be ready for it is also just the time thing. There is even more than ever so much more of our time being taken from everything. Even work takes up more time when people can contact you just so frequently on and be constantly bugging you for stuff on the internet, on Teams, on sometimes even on personal phones, whatever. It's hard to have work-life balance. It's hard to get away from those expectations and just be able to like live life. It's tough. This dog's probably, yep. Rough collies, one Aussie named Paul. Oh, they all sound like such sweeties though. Like, I do wish I had grown up with animals. I loved having my cats though, and I do look forward to having them again one day. It's also just harder having a dog in the city, I would say too. I think if it was the case of like, it was more out in the boonies, maybe I'd consider it. But I still personally prefer cats. Dogs are just so much responsibility. Crazy, right? Okay, I'm gonna save here because it is already 22. And I do gotta get up early. Jim, you're telling, oh my gosh. Paul, why? Paul, why would you do that? BB. Yeah, no, thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was a good time, good chats. Honestly, I very much enjoy the chats and stuff we get from this game. I love the kind of conversations we get into, and that's one of the reasons why this will be what I'm continuing with on Monday. So we will continue with this until I finish on Mondays, then we'll go from there. We'll see what we play next. And yeah, Mondays from here on. Monday. Yeah. And yeah, actually that might be the thing. I mean, if you feel that from being around dogs that much, maybe. I would say that for me, the kind of attention cats need is just easier for me by a lot. Yeah, I think you would have exactly the kind of experience to understand that. Like, cats definitely need attention. They need a lot of attention, they need a lot of care, they need a lot of that stuff, but like, it's so much easier for me to give it to them. They're much more cuddle, like hang out, let's just kind of vibe together. Dogs like need to go be active and doing stuff. And I know not all dogs, and not all cats, but still, it does depend. So maybe it's a case of never say never, right? We shall see. But yeah, thanks all for hanging out today and see you later. Bye.